Broadcasting from the Vegas Video Network studios, just steps from the Las Vegas Strip, it's Awkward Silence 2.1. And now, our favorite host in this particular time spot, it's Brandon Gooch Hahn.
Hello. My name is Brandon Gooch Hahn, and welcome to Awkward Silence 2.1 right here on the Vegas Video Network. You want to be a part of the show? Very simple. We got an email set up for you, awkward@vegasvideonetwork.com. That's awkward@vegasvideonetwork.com. We also have a phone number, 866-966-4599, 866-966-4599. We also have live chat. Let's just say you want to be smack dab in the middle of the show. You want to be a part of the show. You want to ask a question. I'll answer it live right here on the interweb. VegasVideoNetwork.com/live. And let's just say you missed a show. Don't worry about it, Angel. Don't worry about it. We got your plan B. We'll be showing replays on VegasVideoNetwork.com, Roku, iTunes, and YouTube. That was a mouthful, but I think I sold it perfectly. So without any further ado, I think it's time for the seamless segue to camera number 2. Ooh, damn. Damn! That was good. Thank you. Well, I don't want to brag. So let's do the news. According to researchers, alcohol-related crashes thanks to alcohol, less people that have Canadian driver's license are involved with those kind of crashes as opposed to people with U.S. and Mexican driver's licenses. And in related news, Mexicans have driver's licenses. And Jaleel White, commonly referred to as Urkel from the hit TV show Family Matters, is upset at Hollywood because nobody will give him a chance to display his skills. He says he's a versatile actor. And we tried to get Horseshack, Skippy, Balky, and Screech to comment, but nobody could cover their shifts at McDonald's, Burger King, McDonald's, Arby's, and Pizza Hut. Too many fast food. Well, Screech is working 2 jobs. And Shia LaBeouf, or LaBeau, I'm not exactly sure how you say his name, but he's a big-time Hollywood actor, and he's in the news because a video has surfaced of him actually getting beaten down in front of a Vancouver nightclub. We got a picture of that? Somebody did not like Eagle Eye. Yikes. You know what's sad about that? That is not the first bar fight that Shia has lost. I think we actually have a picture of the guy who kicked his ass the last time. Glass Joe, bitches. I actually lost to Glass Joe when I was 6. And a Las Vegas man by the name of Wesley Warren Jr. is making headlines thanks to his 100-pound scrotum. His 100-pound scrotum. Let me say it again because it needs to sink in. A 100-pound scrotum. He's decided to come forward with this story because, well, the surgery is going to cost him about $1 million and his Medicaid will not cover it. And he's hoping that somebody might be able to help him out. Well, good news for you, Wesley, because your buddy Gooch is here for you. No, I'm not going to pay for your surgery. That's stupid. I actually am here to give you some advice because the solution of your problem is hanging right there on that billboard between your legs. Have you ever thought about selling advertising space on that massive beanbag? I got it. Show a picture. Here we go. Let's make some money. You'll be rolling it. You'll be rich, I tells you, rich. All right. And down at Fremont Street, I guess they're doing a zombie walk down there, and who better to cover the action than our very own ghoul on the scene, Courtney Leone. Hey, Court.
Hi, Peggy. Ghoul on the scene, Gooch? You're a douchebag.
Well, I was just thinking that, it was Halloween, and you were all dressed up.
I'm not dressed up like I'm going to a job interview or anything. I'm dressed up like a zombie for the zombie walk. Pull your head out of your ass.
Well, I was just thinking that there's how much work really goes into being a zombie.
There's layers to my character. I'm a method actor.
Are there layers to a zombie?
Yeah, but you should probably call us an animated corpse.
What, thanks to like witchcraft or something?
No, stupid. Magic isn't real. It's an infection, like AIDS, except a condom won't protect you.
So are you going to wear a dental dam for the rest of the people? I mean, that would come in handy for us.
Yeah, cute. Because zombies, they're really considered. It's like, oh, hello, ma'am. Mind if I chew on your face for a little bit and give you a horrible infection? No? That's all right, then. Good morrow. Pull your head out of your ass, Gooch. I'm a zombie. I'm walking with them, and we're here to fuck shit up.
And how, zombie, Courtney? How do you plan on fucking shit up?
I'm going to do what zombies do. You know, I'm going to drink till I can no longer speak, then I'm going to moan and walk around aimlessly, bump into other zombies, maybe bump into a hot one, have a crazy night of passionate sex with another member of the undead army because he tore his t-shirt in just a way where he had a perfect bite mark on his six-pack.
And what about tomorrow?
Well, if everything goes according to plan, I'm going to take the Plan B pill because zombie Courtney's not responsible enough to raise a zombie baby. Then I'll go back to my regular day job.
Oh, okay. Well, Courtney Leone, everyone.
I've been on Fremont Street since like 8 o'clock in the morning, and there's nobody here. This is kind of ridiculous. What's going on? It's starting!
Courtney is now a crackhead. Let's pass the mic. That went swimmingly. Pass the mic. This is the part of the show where you, the viewer, get to ask me, the host, a question through email, awkward@vegasvideonetwork.com. That's awkward@vegasvideonetwork.com. So what's up, Scott?
Well, we have two questions for you, Gooch. First one is from Mark. Mark wants to know, do you have a cutoff time regarding your level of success as a comedian?
Are you saying I'm not successful now?
No.
I mean, look, let me tell you something, Scott. I make 40 grand a year. That's more than you could possibly dream, all right? I could own the whole country of Rhode Island if I wanted to. But oh, no. Actually, I really don't know what the cutoff date is going to be. I mean, because you always hear people hit. Rodney Dangerfield hit in his 50s. You know, Larry the Cable Guy hit when he was 41. So it just depends on how far I want to go and how much ramen I'm willing to eat. All right, so we'll be back in just a little bit with our headliner, but from now, a station ID.
Traditional media believes that after about 3 minutes, you'll tune out. Most Vegas media companies think if it doesn't jiggle, you won't tune in. At the Vegas Video Network, we think both are wrong. The Vegas Video Network is the first and only live online broadcast network that specializes in insider news and expert views about Vegas. We combine great storytelling with the ability to watch when and where you want on your computer, mobile device, or television. Discover the real Las Vegas. Visit vegasvideonetwork.com.
And now we're back with our headliner. A legend in the biz. He's been known as a bad boy, very controversial, very hysterical. And he's down at the Riviera Hotel and Casino doing some stand-up comedy. Andrew Dice Clay, everyone. Hey, thank you.
So excited.
Thank you for making it
How's it
down
going?
here.
I made it within seconds.
You did make it
They
to a
actually
second.
threw a mic on me and actually threw me in the chair.
I
I don't know
saw
if that was seen by the general population.
I'm over here
of
trying to look at the
America.
camera, and I see a wobbly chair going
Yeah,
on
this
here.
is just crazy the way you got up. It's like, you know, the way, you know, technology has ushered in like a whole new generation of no public, you know, etiquette.
Right, I understand that. There was no manners whatsoever when you came in.
You know.
He's a celebrity, for Christ's
No,
sake.
I'm not even talking about him. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about what's going on out there. You
Yeah.
know, that everything is done like this now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How it's simple. This is unbelievable. I love this. I love seeing me on screen. I look absolutely stunning today.
I'm going to tell you right now.
You know what I mean? I know you're not a girl or anything, so you can't say it.
If I were gay, I would probably write a blog about it or something, you know, whatever. I made it awkward for Andrew Dice Clay. Good.
No, I'm thinking, what would you write? See, that's the genius of the comedy. I don't
Right.
come on and do material. I go by what I'm thrown at.
Good, good.
You know what I mean?
Well, you know, speaking about being on screen, you're on Entourage now, or you've been making.
Well, the season's over,
Right, right.
but it was really great. As a matter of fact, I'm going to see Adrian Grenier's coming into town tonight to do to show Paparazzi and come to my show later. And yeah, it was a great. It was the shot that brought me back up.
Mm-hmm. Like, now, when you're on a show like that, does that just usher in a whole new audience?
Yeah, I mean, their audience is a younger demographic, obviously, and they've been coming to my shows. I've started doing, obviously I'm at the Riv here in Vegas, which I'm excited about because, the Riviera to me is old school Vegas. I mean, I'm talking about the showroom, the kind of booths that people get to sit in, the look of the room, the animal prints, very old school. And I like that because a lot of the theaters today are more just theater seating, like going to a movie. I like where people could hang, drink, relax, do things under the table that aren't that nice, things like that.
Right.
But I'm also doing things like Cyclone Stadium, I mean, that's what Entourage has done for me.
Yeah, is that the show?
I mean, I'll be honest.
Right.
I'll be honest. Was it Joey?
Yeah, fine. We'll just go with that.
No, what is your first name?
It's Gooch, yeah.
Gooch.
Right.
Oh,
literally, we just met, right now. I'm just saying, there was no pre-show.
What is the rating on this show?
9 stars.
No, I mean, word-wise, is this XM or is it terrestrial?
It's an internet television
All right,
show.
so it doesn't matter. I don't have to watch my words that much.
Okay, there you go. Be dice.
No, what I'm saying is every fucking comic in this town, should basically go dark while I'm in town because when you have a comic that is world-renowned, that has done the biggest things ever in history, if they were smart, they'd be at my show studying to see what made it that successful because I have had the biggest highs and the lowest lows in the business. You know what I mean?
What were some of the biggest highs?
The biggest highs, I did, 300 arena shows, more than that. That's 20,000 people a night. I mean, at that time you had bands out there, like Guns N' Roses, who I wound up doing the Rose Bowl with, which was 100,000 people. I mean, the lowest lows. I've gone through personal things. I've brought my children up. I went through a bad divorce, but now I got my great little Chiquita, Valerie, and I'm very happy again. But through the years, I had to bring my kids up, and that, to me, was more important than a career.
Of course.
You know what I mean? If you bring up shitty kids, you haven't accomplished anything.
Right.
But now I'm back in action. Now I'm back in swing.
Well, speaking of your kids, though, your son is actually doing stand-up, right?
Well, my son I have 2 openers this week, right? My son, he goes on to Max Silverstein. I love that, the beauty of Max is that he doesn't walk in my shadow. He doesn't try to be a Dice type of persona on stage. He creates his own wave. That's what I call it. You know what I mean? And he doesn't, and what other comics always tell me about him that know him, they always talk about how, he doesn't try to use your name to get into clubs, to work. He wants to do it on his own. That's how I brought both my boys up. And so he's one of my openers this week. But he doesn't open for me all the time. This he's doing as a favor to me because he's in LA most of the time doing 2 and 3 spots a night just to get better and better on stage. So this is great for us. It's a great bonding thing. It's great. It'll be a great memory. It's a great moment for us to work together. He also was on Entourage with me, and that was really difficult for him because here he is going on a show where he's watching these guys for 8 seasons, and now he's got to be in a scene with them, not just doing dialogue, but playing the drums, which he's a great drummer. So I can't even understand that kind of pressure for a young guy like that. But he's holding up. He's more than holding up. He's doing fantastic.
What was it like for you when you first saw him grab a microphone?
Well, you know what? At first, he was a musician. First, it was all about the drums, and him and his brother, my other son Dylan, had a band called L.A. Rocks. And my youngest son, who's only 17 now, was writing songs when he was 12 years old that was like adult rock. Like they wanted to be like a 2-piece Guns N' Roses, like a 2-piece Led Zeppelin. They wanted to bring back that kind of rock. And the minute they started performing at places like the Whiskey in LA, they were offered record deals. And my youngest son got, a little overwhelmed, and I couldn't blame him. Because I knew what fame was at 30, and it's overwhelming. So, he backed away from that and got more into sports and academics, and Max got into the stand-up world. So it was sort of a natural progression, because Max always loved show business.
Okay.
And my other act, let me just tell you, Eleanor Kerrigan. I mean, she's here, but I'm not bringing her on right now. You know, yeah, shut up. Shut up when I'm on TV. No, you shut up. I'm on a television show. I am paying attention.
Talk to Joey.
But she's my other opening act, Eleanor Kerrigan, and she is, I would say, the best female stand-up in the country. And when she started, I'm telling something right now. When she started opening for me, you know, because I do have rough crowds, you know, it was very difficult for her, and she just stuck with it and faced the crowds, and now she's, you know, she's the best.
Right on.
You know, it's tough enough for a guy to open for me, but for a girl, come on, get the fuck out of here. What? It's funny, the voice off camera.
We got a chat question, Scott. What's going on?
Yeah, Ari wants to know what's Dice's beauty secret?
What kind of question?
We have live chat. People are watching the show live right now, and you look a little surprised.
I thought, all right, I thought we would. I get it. I'm not Fred Flintstone. I don't follow the technologically world like that much.
But we've got a bunch of people watching us live right now.
All right, so what does this guy need?
And so Ari wants to know, he goes, what's your beauty secret? You haven't aged a bit.
You know what? I don't know. I have no answer. You know, I just try to sort of stay in shape, to work out, you know, to keep as much hair on my head as possible. You know, banging is great for weight loss.
I understand
You
that.
know, my wife is a quarter century plus younger than me. You know, right, Valerie? Wouldn't you say that? She's around that, you know. But no, it's a great workout. You know, you hit all the parts of the body when you're banging.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, if you're on your toes, you're working the back of your legs, you're working your quads. You know, if she's on top, you got to hold her up there. So it works the biceps, the triceps. You know, then if you're on top, missionary, flat-footed, you know, it's almost like you're doing push-ups. So it's a great back workout. So
I had no idea it was like a total
try
gym.
something like that. There are plenty of little piglets running around the strip, you know, just, you know, these weekend warriors,
Right.
you know, with a zebra skirt on going, you know, pound the meat, pound the meat. You little fucking slob, you know.
I think that's Chuck Norris's secret to success as well. Just lots
Well,
of banging.
he does that, I'm sure, but he also has that toy
Oh yeah.
that he's been
the
selling,
Total gym.
the total gym.
Yeah.
So, but Chuck Norris is, you know, he's Chuck Norris. He does karate. I love Chuck Norris.
Who does it? We got another chat question.
Yeah, Jeff wants to know, he just wanted to ask you about The Apprentice and your dust-up.
Who's this guy now?
Jeff, big fan of yours. Big fan.
I don't know. All right.
Jeff wants
What
to
does he want to
know
know?
about The
Oh,
Apprentice.
yeah, fuck that. I don't bake for nobody. You know, I've been asked that question a million times, and, you know, I told Donnie, I ain't no baker, you know? You know what I mean? Like, when I'm at home, my wife, you know, young and everything, she knows how to do everything. She could bake, she could, everything. So she does that. I've watched her make cookies and muffins and things. You know, when I showed up and they gave, like, the task, you know, I'm thinking, okay, you know, now, you know, we got a commercial and there's 1,000, you know, cupcakes afterwards.
Right.
I didn't know I got to stay in the room like some fucking jerk off, you know, and sweat my ball. I'm no baker. I didn't show up going, oh, let's go in a room and bake. Number one, the room was small. I didn't want to be confined.
Right.
It's one of the reasons I never got a real job. I can't stay in one place for a long time. Even when I was in school, I used to walk around the classroom. That the teacher would call my mother and goes, he doesn't sit down. My mother said, can't you see he's fucking bored?
Yeah.
You know, maybe if you had a little more fucking personality, maybe he would sit there. Personality, mean your personal. Maybe he'd sit there and listen to what you got to say. Chick didn't even show off her tits. You know, she was all covered up. You know, I'm in the 3rd grade, popping Woodies over there. Give me something to fucking look at. You know, how long am I going to sit? I'll come to school. I'll stay for 3-4 hours if you want, but give me something to look at. So when Donnie told me to bake, you know, I'm like, what are you at? Fucker, tell your wife to come in here and bake the fucking cupcakes and donuts. I ain't no stepping fucking fetching for nobody. You're fired. Thank you. I don't like getting up 5:30 in the morning anyway.
I collect
gotta sleep
unemployment.
5:30 in the morning.
You know
Trying to whack my bag, talking to my wife with Skype and a phone, and what am I going to do? I got no time for this baking. You don't want what's on my hands in your dough. I'll put it to you that way. Fucking Donnie. He went so crazy, he tried to run for president. That's fucking nuts. Remember, he came to Vegas. He did like a speech. Like,
right.
We're going to tax the fucking Bangkok people, whatever he was saying. And go, fucking Donnie's putting together a show now. Now you're talking. Because he started like doing like parts of my act for an audience.
Oh, man, you were making my job so much easier right now, dude.
Well, it's not you. It's this guy fucking Joey on Chad.
I was, I wanted to ask you, too. I mean, because the thing, like, obviously.
Why do they call it Chad? What?
Chat.
Eleanor? Chat what?
Live chat.
Open your ears. Open your ears.
One thing I wanted to ask you, though, is, like, obviously, he asked the question because it was kind of controversial what happened on The Apprentice and everything.
Why would that be controversial?
No, I mean, the fact that you did this to the boss is great. You did exactly what everybody wanted to do, and that's what you kind of made a career out of,
the guy should have known. I'm a stand-up, I'm a comic.
But everybody else, Meatloaf was out there cooking. Meatloaf was out there cooking.
Think of his name.
I forgot. I should have. I didn't piece it together.
He should be cooking.
Gary Busey was cooking.
I'm Dice. I'm in Vegas doing shows. That makes sense.
Of course.
You don't fly me into New York to give a tray of cookies to some person.
But I was going to ask you though.
That's not what I do. I got my wife.
But that's the thing, like controversy surrounds you.
I know, it's a crazy thing.
Do you think that's part of the reason why you're such a big deal? Because let's face it, you've done this to so many people. That's kind of what makes you a legend.
You know what it is? My own attorney, who's gone through a couple breakdowns because of me. Always and he's handled some of the biggest rock stars ever, like Marilyn Manson, people like that. And he goes, "You lived the craziest life I've ever seen. And you're not a drug addict, you're not a drunk, but yet your life is insane. And I've handled the biggest rock stars, and it's not as insane. It's just what goes on. Mm-hmm. I'm the type of person you can't just tell me what to do. I mean, I've walked away from series in my careers. I made deals years ago with this producer that they were, fucking Taxi. He produced Taxi, he produced Dear John, and I made a deal with ABC years ago, and this guy wanted to produce it, and, back then, the producers of these TV shows, they were like taskmasters. Mm. They really wanted to push your buttons, really boss you around. And this guy was showing up on the set of Ford Fairlane, and Joel Silver, who was producing that movie, I'd have to come over and go, do me a favor, Joel, get rid of this guy. Tell him to get out of here, Mm. And he'd be like, it's Ed Weinberger, get out of here,
Right.
I'm going, yeah, but I'm here doing a movie. I don't want to be bothered. But they would be on their actors like very heavily instead of like when I did Entourage, it was like I was expecting to get destroyed because I know what producers are, and from the greatest cast to the greatest show runners to the greatest show creator, just laid back. If you switch a word here and there, they don't come over going, that's not what I fucking wrote on the page. And I'm not the type of guy you could do that to. Mm-hmm. Because when you do that to me, I go fucking berserk.
Right.
And I just don't stand for it. And I won't stand for it. Not from you, not from anybody. It's just who I am as a human being. So I walked away from a show where they, this was when my career took off like in '88. It was like $50,000 a week just to start. Mm-hmm. That by the end of the first season, I was going to get $250,000 an episode, which was unheard of back then. I mean, the biggest back then would have been Roseanne, who got $35,000 to start, And, I was calling my father, who ran my business, even though I had big management, Sandy Gallen, and, I was with David Geffen and Barry Diller at that time. That was like the crew I was with doing everything. And I would come to my father and go, you got to get me out of the series. I go, this guy's going to put me in a psychiatrist chair for the rest of my life. Mm. I said, and I don't need all the money in the world. It was never about that. Of course you want to make money, but, some people need it all. You know what I mean? They can't stop if there's another dollar on the table. I was more about accomplishment, wanting to really do something special with my life, more special than any comic ever, because when I started in comedy,
But by that time, you did do a lot of special things. I mean, you became a hero to a lot of people.
Well, that was the thing. When I started in comedy and I would watch comics, see, most comics bore me to fucking tears, okay? Not that they're not funny. They're funny guys, but they know zero about performance. And I didn't grow up that way. I grew up as a drummer. I grew up watching everybody from, big personality, Elvis Presley to Muhammad Ali to, movie stars like Stallone and Travolta back then. And when I wanted to become an actor, so when I would see these comics on stage, I'm going, they're funny, but there's nothing going on. Because back then the comics were more like opening acts, And so I said, if I'm going to do this, I want to create something for people that they never saw as a comic, and that's how Dice happened. I put what I felt should be on stage, the kind of image, the kind of look, and and it worked bigger than anybody because it is a rock star.
You definitely brought that to the forefront.
Definitely.
Of comedy.
So once again, how do you put me in a room to bake fucking
exactly?
apple
it all comes
pie?
Back down to cookies.
You know what
Suck
I mean?
it, Trump.
No, I love Donnie, but you don't put me in a room to bake.
Right.
Let everybody else do the fucking baking. You know what I mean? Let Tommy Green, he's one of my best friends in the world, but he don't mind fucking baking.
Right.
He's fucking nuts. He'll do anything. So I told Tommy, just move quicker and double up and make my donuts for me. You know what I mean?
Well, I was the thing is just like I said, though, you're such a hero to some of these comics, and because you've done things your way.
Well, the newer generation understands that and respects that.
But the problem is, though, is if a younger comic does things the way you did it, a lot of times they're going to have a lot of doors slammed in their face, and they're going to say this. They're going to go, "Who do you think you are, Andrew Dice Clay?"
Well, the thing is,
it
came natural to me to perform the way I perform and to be the way I am, because I do love. I live in L.A. and I love L.A., but I'm really happy. I'm from Brooklyn. That's where I grew up. So unless you have the chemistry that's in my body from the parents that, had me, you can't just be somebody. I mean, you could learn from that performer. I learned from guys like Elvis. I learned about image. But, I wasn't learning from comics. So if I influence other comics, that's a great thing.
Okay.
Because maybe I won't be bored watching them now.
Right. We got another chat question.
I mean, that's not one fucking comic on the strip. If I was here, just not even performing, there's not one worth seeing at all. Other than Carrot Top, who plays with toys, which I like.
Right.
I always loved toys as a kid, and Carrots. But he's a performer, and he's entertaining.
Right.
But other than that,
a lot of guys just
what do you want to see, a guy
mic.
fucking jerk a puppet off or something? What are you talking about over here? You want to levitate a bull 90 feet, like what happened with Siegfried and Eddie that time?
Right,
Remember
right,
that?
yeah.
When the tiger ate a part of him, whatever.
That's the way to close. That right there, I think a closer to having a tiger chew on your neck. I mean, is there a Dice closer that can top that?
What bothered me, see, this is why I'm the kind of comic I am. What bothered me was how people were like, "Oh, I can't believe that happened." Anybody ever bought a ticket to see that show was thinking, maybe tonight's the night.
Exactly.
If you're going to come out and bang a tiger over the head with a stick every night, sooner or later, there's going to be a fucking problem. See, years ago, a guy could come out and pull a kerchief out of his sleeve, and it was funny. Today, unless you levitate a bull 30 feet off the ground and whack its bag into some slob's fucking face in the front row, nobody cares.
Everybody feels like
Years
they've
ago,
been cheated out of a
bunny
ticket.
rabbit, gooch. It was a bunny rabbit. Oh, look at the fucking bunny. They throw it on the fucking floor. That's the end of the story. Today, it's bulls and midgets being pulled out of people's assholes. Come on, get out of here.
We got another chat question.
Yes, we do. First of all, on behalf
What
of
does
the
Chad want again?
on behalf of the strip, we're sorry we have no good comedians here. Troy wants to know after the break.
That's their fault.
I'm sorry, sir. After the break that Dice took, was it hard to get back into the rhythm of stand-up, and did you write new material during that break?
Oh my God, who is this fucking idiot now? It's not like when I wasn't going for publicity and all those things. It's not like I still didn't perform. I just performed in small places, but always worked on my act. I kept it current. I even wrote a book. you know, I did prepare for a resurgence. You know, I just wasn't out there publicly with, you know, having managers and publicists and agents pushing me, you know, and that started about 2 years ago with Donnie. Mm-hmm. You know, when he called about the game show, whatever.
We got another chat question.
BTS, I'm always afraid to ask a chat question. I've never
Don't
been
be
afraid.
I don't
afraid.
even know who this guy is.
This is another person online. He saw Dice 2 days after you got kicked off of MTV. He wants to know if you have any new nursery rhymes.
You know what? I've done things where I've done new nursery rhymes, but the bottom line is the fans, I have a lot of new material, but as far as the nursery rhymes, they love, that's like the hits.
You really are the only comic out there that could say a joke and have the audience finish it and have the audience be happy.
Well, that's the whole thing. They love
Very
doing
rock
those
star.
poems. Yeah, they love doing the poems with me. Like, you know, when you're singing along, like, to Sister Christian, which to me is one of the greatest songs ever written in history.
Right.
I mean, there've been millions of songs, but Sister Christian,
Motorin.
that's a fucking
That's
song
a great
and
song.
a half.
Right.
You know, so when I do the poems, Max will love that, by the way, my son, because that's his favorite song. But when I do the Mother Goose stuff, they want to do it with me. So it's really not about adding new, you know, Mother Goose things.
Right.
You know, I've actually tried that, you know, and they like them, but it's not like they know them to do them.
Mm-hmm. And that's only it's only like what, maybe like five minutes of your final. Like
It's
you
the
close
end
it
of
out
the show.
with that. Yeah.
I'll close the show with that. And they do them with me, whether they're 18 years old or 50 years old. They just love doing them.
Like-
and I like doing it with them.
Right.
You know, it's almost like we're all fucking together.
Right. Exactly. With no condom.
It's like an orgy of poems.
We got another chat
I
question.
need your advice on this. A bunch of people
How do I
in the
look
chat
there, by the
want-
way?
I think you look
seriously.
smashed.
I didn't want to wear the leather, you know, and I asked my wife, and she goes, babe, you're just so fucking sexy, you know, that she loved it.
Hey, you already said. Hey.
Because it's like 215 degrees out. What am I
Oh,
gonna
you don't
wear,
want to
a
wear
leather?
that jacket at
You know what I mean?
215 degrees.
Yeah.
You know, quarter of a century.
So-
wow,
so
let's
I
talk
went with
about
this.
that. Quarter of a century. You just said quarter of a century
yeah.
younger than you.
Yes. Did you see her?
Yeah, she's very pretty. But like I saw her real quick. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
she's very
Dice is
pretty.
here. Everybody, shut up.
No, but why would you even look at her that way?
No.
It's not respectful.
No, I did. I said it was real glams. Okay, done.
What do you mean glimpse? Like a little sneak peek?
No, just saying, hey, who's that? Oh, who's the girl sitting next to Dice? Could be his taxi driver. Could be his limo driver. Wasn't exactly sure. I just had to
So
double check.
you want to tell me that you thought my wife is the limo driver?
No, not at all. I
Did you
didn't
see the
know.
skirt
I actually
she's
thought
wearing?
Todd was the limo driver. I wasn't sure.
seriously.
It was
So you're trying to bullshit me now. You're trying to tell me my wife's the fucking driver. That's what
no.
you're saying.
I was just wondering who was the entourage that walked in with Andrew Dice Clay.
Shut up. Shut your mouth when I'm talking to him. All right. So, thank you. So what were you saying?
I was just saying, though.
Oh, about a quarter century.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about it?
How did you manage?
But you didn't mean nothing by that.
No, I
the
didn't mean
truth.
nothing by that. What?
No, I mean, you're a good guy. I mean, I'm not going to do nothing. I
Right,
don't
of
get
course.
physical unless somebody attacks me. That's how I
No,
am.
no.
Because good behavior never came naturally to
I
me.
understand
you know
that.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
understand that.
But you're a good guy, and if you're just saying, oh, I think your wife is hot, like I could
Oh,
appreciate
no.
that.
Saying, if I say, hey, your wife is hot, I, to me, think that is disrespectful.
Well, you know what
if I say
happened?
pretty, is that the same
Yeah,
disrespect?
no, that's
Because-
a little different. See, my friend, this guy, this Bruce, right? She comes out of the car, and she's wearing, like, these workout pants. They were, like, hot pink with some studs on them, you know, because she's, like, Latina, so they do
Right.
that shit. You know, you know how they are with the colors. They're fucking, you got to get one. I got to tell you that right now. I'm
Just go
telling
down
you,
to the dealership?
If she left me, I could never go with anything but Latina. I'd be done.
Right.
You know what? I would just be finished. It's like there's nowhere else to go. There's just nowhere else to go. That's how insane I am about
Oh,
her.
man.
But the thing is, so my friend, when she walked, she came out of the car and he goes, oh, you know, those pants are hot. Now, I don't say nothing. I don't want her to think I get crazy. Right? Now she leaves, and I look at him, I go, what did that mean? You know, like, why would you say the pants? What is that actually saying? You know? He's going, nothing. They were hot. But what does that fucking mean?
Right.
You know? Are you saying right to my wife in front of me that you want to fucking bang my wife? Because I would have caved his fucking head in with an anvil if I thought that. You understand?
I understand.
There's no barriers today. There's no boundaries. People cross the boundaries. I don't like that. Obviously, me and you had a little misconception, and, you know, we're past that now because you explained the difference between pretty, but he said hot.
See, hot
the
is
pants
different.
are hot.
Hot is different.
Now
That's
I'm
letting
thinking
someone
about it.
know.
I'm actually getting mad at him again, thinking about it. You know? The fuck with the water. Who asked for water? You know what I mean? I just, you're a good guy. I don't mean that. Forget about it.
All right.
Forget we went through that.
Well, that's good because we got to get ready to wrap up the show here. I want to thank you very much for stopping by.
Well, what
Awkward
was the
Silence
question?
2.0. The question was, hey,
The difference in age.
The difference in age.
The difference in age.
I mean, is that's got to be? I mean, honestly, every single rock star, every single super famous person can land a hot girl that's like way younger.
That's part of the benefits.
Right.
But the beauty of it is that she didn't even know who the fuck I was when I met her. Her friend.
She thought you were the limo driver.
She was with her friend. Her name's Rio Warner. She's actually a big designer with David Schmidt. What's his name? No, but they do a line called, your line called Beauty is Pain, okay? And so my wife is partners with her girlfriend in this Beauty is Pain, right? So her friend knew exactly who I was, but she had no knowledge of what I do. You know, so it was just that instant attraction, and then we got along fantastic, and, you know, if anything, the age bothered me more than her, you know, and, you know, but, you know what, I explained to her, you know, I've gone with girls, you know, 25, I've gone with girls 50, you know, if they're dumb when they're 25, they're dumb when they're 50, but if they're smart when they're 25, they're smart when they're 50, I mean, so it's all about who the person is, and I'm not the brightest guy in the world either.
Right.
So, you know, it's not like I was out there looking for fucking rocket scientists.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, you could tell that by talking to me, right?
No, actually, I was pretty impressed with
No,
some of your
I'm not
vernacular.
dumb.
No, I'm not saying dumb.
I'm not saying I'm dumb.
Okay.
You're not
Intelligent?
saying that, what's that?
Are you asking if I think you're intelligent? I am totally fucking lost right now.
I am intelligent.
We got another chat question.
I am intelligent. With a lot of things.
No, actually, we got to get ready to wrap up the show. But Dice, thank you very much for stopping by Awkward Silence.
You're a good guy. You know,
thank you very
I love
much.
You.
And we'll be back next Friday, new time, 1 o'clock, right here on the VegasVideoNetwork.com. And don't forget to email us at awkward@VegasVideoNetwork.com and catch the replays on VegasVideoNetwork.com, iTunes, YouTube, Roku.
With the Riviera.
And don't forget that Andrew Dice Clay is going to be down at the Riviera doing some live stand-up comedy. And if you're a comic that's performing on the Strip,
you should come watch and learn.
Sorry. Thank you. We'll see you guys next week.
Twitter. The Real Dice Clay. Now I see my wife is smart. She got me twittering. The Real Dice Clay on Twitter. You could write something to me, then I write something back, and we, you know, that's what it happens. That's what it's all about. Tweet my balls.
Well, thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much for it. Down at the Riviera Hotel and Casino, Andrew Dice Clay. We'll see you guys next week.